Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. Alright, so first things first, we do have, what, 10,000 liters of bottled goat milk that I would like to get sold today. Obviously I brought the big long trailer here for a pretty small load, but this trailer will be useful for those bigger times and we got multiple trailer loads, otherwise it'll just take one, hopefully. That's the hope, at least. So we have this field here that will need to get replanted. It looked good for pH, because I did check it for pH. Then we have two soybean fields. The one looked good. We should be able to plant that right away. The other one was the one that we combined with the grass field. It looked like the grass field portion was a little bit low in spots. So that whole field will just get lime then. I'm not just going to do half of it, because that doesn't make sense, because then the other half's going to be bad eventually. Just do it all at once, then everything will be bad at once. It's a lot easier to keep on top of, at least. Now, I was looking, it looks like what, our oat field is almost done? I believe it's oats. That's one of the ingredients that we wanted to do cereal with, I believe, and I don't have anything else. So I will be probably looking to get the honey for certain. I know the honey is needed. What else was needed exactly? The raisin one. So we'll need raisins, obviously. Corn, so we'll just need corn as is, which all of our corn is probably, we have some in there. I think I'll let this all run into corn flour, because it's going to take a while to get enough honey, although honey's not a much needed product for it, but it's also going to take a while to get the raisins, because I don't have either of those right now. So those are things I'm going to have to get going. I'll have to buy the raisin production. Is it raining, but it's supposed to be sunny out? It's like a snowing, but it's not snowing. It's supposed to be sunny. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the weather is doing right now. It was really foggy, and it still is a little bit foggy, at least at the farm. Now it's starting to, like, snow almost. But it's supposed to be sunshine and rainbows, basically. Yeah, the weather today. Yeah, we're doing pretty good financially, so we can easily afford the beehives and the raisin production. I really don't know why the weather is this bad. Because it should be sunny. I'm gonna try this. Sometimes they'll reset it. That's a screenshot mod. Oh, of course. Another bottled goat milk spawned. I thought it wasn't close, but I was wrong, I guess. Yeah, that's a screenshot mod I use, and it resets the weather anytime you use it. I usually don't use it during the video, but obviously when it's supposed to be not snowing, and it is, it's a pretty good time to use it in that case. This is after the most recent patch. I don't remember what it's like, 1.13, 1.4? I'm honestly not 100% sure which version this is at this point. Yeah, I'll put the trailer probably over here. We might be able to do this whole field without having to unload. And I'll just put it over here, so if we do have to unload, it's not like it's that big of a deal. And I would also like to mention, obviously I have talked about cows. What the heck happened here? That, what the heck happened there? Are they all like that? No? Well, I can't really mention it. That is clearly after the update. I'm not sure what happened there. That is, wardrobe is fine. I'm trying to think what mod that would be. that would cause that issue. Either auto sorting, maybe? That's the only one I can think of, the shop sorting one. Also, it's snowing again. What's going on with this update here? I just started, and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? It should be sunshine and rainbows, basically. Cloudy's the worst weather we got. Yet, for some reason, it's doing this again. I don't know. And then this is obviously bugged. Yeah, and as soon as I open it, it changes. What the heck is going on? There's clearly something messing with the weather and everything. I'm just curious. I'm just going to do it quickly off camera. I'm going to go into a save. Yeah, anytime I go into a menu and out, it resets the weather to this. So when I go and turn off all the mods in like a different save, so no mods, it works perfect. If I turn on all of my mods, it works perfect. Now I went into this save. I went with my usual mod setup. Where did I put the planter at? Down here. Does not work fine. It doesn't. Doesn't make any sense because you think it'd be a mod clearly causing the issue. You know, just it being incompatible with the update or something. But when I go into this save and I turn all of my mods back on, it works if I have all of my mods active. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to troubleshoot something that I can't even figure out why it does it. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you've had that issue too since it's been since the update. There's been a couple mod updates, but that's mainly just with like tractors and stuff. I wouldn't think that would cause an issue. But yeah, if you would know anything on that, let me know. Otherwise, I'll have to, I don't know, look into it off camera. There'll be some mods I'm going to have to deactivate. There's some things I kind of turn on just to kind of test things, and well, but they're not really going to be a full-time thing. So there will be some mods I'm going to have to try to turn off and hope it still works. I turned off one. I should say all but one mod is active. Because there was a mod that makes it so you have to buy the GPS for the tractor. I did download it, but obviously I'm not going to have it active in here. It was more so, it was me thinking in the future, oh hey, this might be interesting to have for like a survival challenge. It was just me thinking in the future. That's why I downloaded it. I have some of those mods where it's like, oh, maybe in the future this could be a really interesting idea. But, yeah. Yeah, I will have to probably try to sort that out off camera. Deactivate some mods I don't see as, being needed for the series, and see if it's still broken then. But yeah, that's so weird. So weird. But at least I know it's not an issue with the save itself. That would be really unfortunate, because I really wouldn't know how I would fix that. So I don't have to figure that out at least. Well, I'm just going to do a short little time lapse. We'll get this field all finished out and planted. Then we'll likely move on to doing some harvesting over there. If we get time, we might try to lime the one field. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I'll take everyone notes. The time lapse is done. Alright, so we're just about done here. Yeah, well, I can actually talk about the cow barn now, because I was gonna, but yeah, obviously there was some issues there. I'm looking for something that's not too big. Because ideally, I would like to try to fit, obviously, some sort of great production on there, too, preferably. But I'm also not against trying to fit it on this bigger grass field or the smaller section I still have in that little production area. I would be a-okay trying to put it in either one. It's just trying to, obviously, navigate on what is best. And, yeah. The thing with the cow barn is I don't want it too close to edges where all of a sudden I can't drive like the combine there or something. This is not really a good backing up job. It's one of those things, right? And also, I mean, the great production would be the same way. I don't want to put it in a way that's going to hinder us just driving around the farm. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So just one of those small things where I want to get obviously the best bang for my buck. And this is with a pasture, yeah. So like, let's see, where is? It does have slurry. I do see milk. Obviously the bales would go inside, I'm assuming. Like I could put this here and then make it, as large or small as I want. And I'd get more than 60. Maybe something like this even. I mean, it's just I gotta balance something that's gonna be the best for obviously long term, without it obstructing the ability to move around the farm. Really, that's the biggest thing. Let's see. There's gonna be a lot more productions in here than normal, so this is gonna take a little bit longer to find. Because normally I have a lot of them turned off if I'm not going to use it. Like the Chocolate Factory mod, I wouldn't normally have that on. Unless I'm going to use it, I don't usually have it on. Bioplastics. I didn't even know I had this mod. I guess that's not that large. I could actually fit that back here. Overlaps with another object, which is likely just grass that was missed. Where does it... Okay, it spawns on that cement there, which isn't terrible. I mean, this wouldn't be bad. I have to take a couple of trees down. So it probably would fit, or I could fit the cows back here even. But the cows would be a little bit more, hands-on. You're going to be a little bit more hands-on with them than the great processing unit. Because for the most part, it's going to basically run by itself. And then, obviously the honey, which, obviously I haven't really even considered where I'm going to put the honey at. I'm not as concerned about that. The beehives themselves aren't huge. We'll get one bigger one, obviously. But the smaller ones aren't that much. The spawn point isn't that bad. So I'm not concerned about that much, at least. Alright, we'll get going on this. I'm intrigued if anybody would have any suggestions on that. On which should I put the grape processing unit in the big piece and try to fit the cows in there? Should I try just to fit the whole grass field with a cow pen? And I could probably fit the grape processing back there. Because realistically, we should make enough hay, regardless of how many are back there. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of slurry made, which I will have to try to figure out, because I don't really have a way to use it right now. And in the past, I usually sell it, and I can't just rent something to sell it with. So that is something I'll have to take in consideration, is do I buy something for it, or do I kind of just, try to figure out a way to use it. which really I could probably figure out a way to use it. You know, I think I did in the first survival challenge. I did use it some. It was more so I did a lot on grass fields, I know. But I kind of just went over it maybe once. It usually wouldn't get enough nitrogen on it, but it would knock our fertilizer use down. Even if it wasn't the whole field. It seemed to be fairly decent that way, so I could try that. So that is an option. I have the money to afford these things, so I'm not obviously concerned about that aspect of it. It's just trying to figure out what's going to be the best option too. And obviously I had talked about trying to expand the farm in some way, which will mainly start in trying to combine some fields. Which I do want to look. Obviously the center field's primarily been sorghum. I want to see if maybe either this field that we're harvesting now or this top field would be a better suited. I mean, this is obviously a better yielding piece. This is much larger though. Probably ends up evening out in the end. This might drop down when you harvest this field. So I could move the sorghum up top and then combine these two fields, or I combine these two fields and just make this the sorghum field. Because we don't need that much sorghum. We really don't. Part of me is tempted to put it at the top one just because, well, then I don't have to make as much harvesting with the sorghum. It's not a huge, yeah, we got to make sure we get it in and done immediately. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's the best route for things. Because I do need to combine some fields. It's going to happen. It's just how it is. I think maybe this wouldn't be a bad idea to do sorghum in and then, you know, and then combine those two fields. That wouldn't be a bad idea, I don't think. And we have a good amount of sorghum on hand, so, you know, it's not the end of the world if we don't get to it right away. The chickens won't go hungry, regardless. Really, the only reason I do sorghum instead of like wheat or barley is obviously because I don't have seasonal growth on. And sorghum is a far quicker growth time. That's the main reason. Otherwise, I likely would need a larger field with barley or something in it. So, once you start realizing why I do some of the things I do, it makes a little bit more sense sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, some of those changes will hopefully come soonish for field layout. And obviously I talked about buying a field, which likely might end up being that field up there. It seems like a perfect candidate. And obviously when we do the beehives, I'm going to make sure I get at least one or two around that big field. Because I know it does bump up yield for canola and like sunflowers. And we're going to primarily do canola in that field, so makes sense to, you know, try to get it as best yielding as we can as well. I think there's one other crop they help with, but I know canola and sunflowers are two of them. I'm not sure if it would say in the help if honeybees would be in here. We'll increase the yield for canola, sunflower, and potato fields. That was the one I was missing. The one crop I almost never do. That makes sense why I'd forget it. Well, I am just going to go ahead and start a time lapse. We'll get the rest of this field done, and we'll start in that large soybean field as well. So I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done.
To Take 10 steps back. Close your eyes and listen. And look from somewhere different. I know that I've been slipping. I fold my tie and ribbon to hide my scars. That's how it starts. Ooh, I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Yeah. Told you so. Yeah. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so.
Alright, so we're just about done here with the soybean harvest. I'm thinking we'll just straight sell this later this month. Or not, well, not later this month, but I don't know, like 2 months from now, 3 months from now. I know I can make soy sauce, but I'm going to try to keep that production a little bit clear for at least the time being. Maybe next time we'll do soybeans, or like one field we'll make into soy sauce or something. But we're not going to do it out of this whole field. We can just sell a little bit later. We're not, desperate need for money or anything, so I'm not too concerned about for that reason. I'm thinking next month we're going to probably try to figure out beehives. I'm going to probably take a look at what options I have, and then I might look at available mods as well. And we'll kind of see, I'll see what I have available. I don't want to put any at this end of the field just because there's going to be a possibility of expanding that direction. Now, actually, I have two, these two I think are next month. So I will leave the combine out here. I know I have this field that does need lime on it, yeah. Like I said, it's possible it might lower this. Oh, it's still 100. Well, it is for now, so we're going to be obviously getting some lime on it. It's low in spots. It's kind of usually how it is. I think the loam is always a little bit low, like the first thing to get low. And I'll have to check these other fields too. And that one, I think I'm going to plant sorghum in it, this one right here. And then I'll probably combine those two fields because they're ready at the same time, so it actually is pretty good timing. And they might both need lime too, so it's even better timing for that. Yeah, I think we'll at least start working towards the honey, so we have more, one more thing for the cereal. And I know honey takes a while to actually make. So, we'll have a handful of small ones here and there, and we might, I think it's maybe a pallet a year even. It's not that much. So I'll look to, I'll probably look at some modded beehives too, maybe. Just to see what's available. I'm not as worried about the grapes, because that's not going to take that long to do. We'll have a good amount within 2 months. A really good amount in 2 months, really. But yeah, not sure how long this video ended up being, because obviously I had like 10 minutes in there where I was looking at a different save for that weird issue. I've been recording for an hour though, so that's usually what my average is. And I know I had one recently that I think was like 16 or 17 minutes long. That was the same case. I recorded for an hour, and usually that's cut down to like 25 minutes. And for some reason it was even smaller. I'm not even sure why. It kind of just, it happens sometimes. Sometimes more things get cut for just whatever reason. So I usually try to keep it around that 25-minute mark, though. But I know there has been some shorter ones, though. So, anyways, that is about everything for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.